Happy summer solstice day to all of you. And happy Father's Day to all of the good fathers out there, okay? Happy Father's Day. To the ones that are not good fathers, deadbeats, um, those of you that spent over a decade stalking people on the internet, you ain't no father, eat shit and die. Okay? All right. Now, I wanted to come and talk about why. Well, I wanted to come and talk about how Spirit is never going to let anybody in the black sector prosper and how you can't get mad at nobody but yourself. Why will you never prosper? And why we are going to make sure that you ain't never got no money. Why we going to make sure that you never win. Why Spirit is going to make sure that nothing big happens for you. Okay. And that includes in social media, right? That includes in social media. Now, trying to rebuild or build your platforms or increase your numbers by pretending like you got good sense is never going to work for you ever. It isn't. No matter what you do, you can do 12-hour shows. You can come on here every single day. You can say things that you think that people want to hear. It does not matter. You will never prosper. Anybody, especially anybody, not especially, but anybody that is adversarial towards me is never going to prosper. And I'm not talking about people that just don't like me in general. You have every right to dislike whoever the fuck you want. Okay? You have every right. Okay? However, you're not going to prosper in social media. And you're definitely not going to prosper financially. You're not going to be allowed to rise in any power. And I'm going to explain why on today. It will never happen. Okay? That black sector is not going to get bigger. That black sector in particular, anybody that branched off through that sector, anybody that stalked me through that sector, anybody that participated in any type of smear campaign, harassment, and stalking of High Priestess Jamila is never going to prosper. Okay? Now, right now, what certain people in that black sector are attempting to do is they are trying to attempt to go ahead and have regular YouTube careers, social media careers. It is not going to happen until and oh man, hold on, y'all, cause damn it, I might have to come back, y'all. Hold on. All right. Okay. This is why you're never going to prosper. It is because you are liars and you don't have the truth in you. This is why you're never going to be recognized in social media. Your numbers are never going to grow. And it is because you decided to have a vendetta against me. You decided to stick with a very vicious lie that spirit is never going to allow you to build up an audience so that you can eventually spread more lies. Any other sectors that you connect with an intention, because we all know that that's what your intention is. We all know that you have an intention on going around in social media trying to ruin High Priestess Jamila's reputation. You are never going to be allowed to do that. We all know that you're going to come on this website and you're going to pretend like you are not here with the sole purpose and intention of lying on me. You can come on here, you can claim that you're talking about this, you can claim that you're talking about that, but in reality, we all know that at some point, eventually, you are going to try to present to a larger audience that I am something and somebody that I am not. We all know that you're going to claim that I'm a sexual predator. We all know that you're going to try to front like my child is mentally slow. We all know that you are going to spin a narrative about me. So that is why your numbers are never going to grow ever. You will never prosper, especially being that, and we don't have hope for you either. Because being that you had the capability to lie about the same thing for over a decade, we know that you're never going to stop lying. You told lies on me that could have killed me. If I were not very good at energy work, if I didn't have self-love and very good at energy work and well connected, I could have died from all the hate. Okay. Devastation could have hit my innocent children's lives because of what you did. So you are never going to prosper ever. And we'll make sure of it. We'll make sure of it. Okay. Now, this is why you won't prosper in real life financially. It is because you have an obsession with trying to destroy and harm High Priestess Jamila. And we all know what people do when they get a little bit of money. When people get a little bit of money, they get a little bit of power. And they may have too much money that they may do something stupid with. So, for example, you were idiotic enough to come to this website and to emotionally adapt. And we're talking about people who were among a group of people that were angry at their black mothers, and they decided they were going to take it out on Jamila. Okay. You're never going to prosper financially in real life. It's never going to happen. You know why? Because that could potentially turn into a danger for me and my family, my children, my loved ones, my grandchildren, my man, my life. Because we all know that even though you may have a little bit of money, you still going to have an obsession. You still going to be stuck on stupid. We know that you don't have the ability to do anything else except for to be stupid. Right? So that's why you ain't gonna never have no money. You ain't gonna never have no money. Okay, to be honest with you, nothing really has changed about the economy. It's just that the economy is always going to be bad for you. You're never going to have money or prosper because you are the type of people that are very corrupt. and you have obsessive problems and you will try to do harm. You been done got a little bit of money. You been done got a little bit of money and tried to have me killed. You been done tried to put a damn hit out on my head or my children. We're not going to let that happen. You're going to stay stuck. If it really, some of y'all are going to be destitute very soon. Some of you are going to go through so much poverty. So many negative spirits are going to, not negative spirits. We don't allow poverty spirits. See, I don't need to conjure a spirit of poverty to cause you to go through financial struggle. I can just make it happen to you. I don't have to conjure a spirit. I don't have to go to Psalms 109. I'm not going to do that. Okay? Which is the spirit of death and desolation is Psalms 109 that people can put on their enemies. No. What I am going to do is I am going to leave those spirits where they're supposed to lie, make sure they stay where they're at, but I'm going to make sure that the circumstances for you is always struggle. One dynamic of it is that you were not able to stay humble. Going around the internet lying on someone, lying on an innocent person, shows that you don't have the ability to be humble. Thank you, Tina the Hut. Thank you. You don't have the ability to humble yourself or be appreciative of anything, right? So money would corrupt you, absolutely. And you don't have the ability to deal with reality. You don't have the ability to tell the truth. You don't have the ability to do the right thing. So that automatically cut you off from any type of prosperity and blessings and abundance. You're not going to be allowed to make a bunch of money and then do harm to me especially, but I can imagine that there's other people that are of concern. You're going to stay stuck where you're at, and trust me, if you have a little bit of something, you're going to lose it. You know, you may be able to stay somewhere in the lower to, I would say no more than what, 25,000 per year. You may be able to stay in a 5-figure situation if you tell the truth. If you don't tell the truth and admit that you lied on me, more than likely you're going to end up in a situation to where you're not even able to make any money ever. Okay? Ever. That is a fact. You can come on here and keep claiming fake money, that you got fake money while you trying to manifest money. We all know, you do your positive affirmations. None of your positive affirmations are going to actually work ever. It's not going to work because you know why? Because you are a danger to me. Right? You may think, oh, well, she ain't nobody. You're going to find out exactly who I am. I am definitely somebody. And it's not fair to me for you to gain at my expense. That's never been fair. Okay. And whatever the fuck happens that is involving me is going to be fair and there's going to be justice. So you can come on here every day. You can wake up every day with all the hope that you want. Let me tell you something. As long as you have lied on me, as long as you have tried to create a false hell for me, you will not have a dime. That's a fact. Okay? No way in hell any of the adversaries that I have are going to gain monetarily, especially. But then again, also, you're not going to be able to go and talk about something else in front, like, and then you lie. You lie. I've been watching certain people trying to set things up to where they can try to build their audiences, to where, they're going to talk about normal stuff, trying to make it seem like you're not a total goofy. But then we know that somewhere in there, if you build up a large enough audience, you're going to try to go to that audience and lie on me. And spirit does not want that to happen, to pop, just for you to pop up with some lies. In fact, when you're speaking to people, even behind the scenes, let's say like in real life, right? Let's say like in like if you're actually physically speaking to someone, okay? And you're obsessed, so you're gonna bring me up and you're gonna lie to that person. That person is gonna automatically know that you're lying. That person is going to automatically look at you. That person is going to automatically not trust you for telling lies on me. Every lie you have spoken, they're going to automatically recoil from you. You're going to be rejected every single time you bring up my name. You try to attack or spread lies and rumors about my children. Now, I wanted to share something with you all. And I want y'all to be extremely careful with that white lady Cat Smith. Okay. Let me tell y'all why. Okay. I was looking at my daughter's page and I ran across a very old photograph of her and her baby daddy. Hopefully he'll be her husband one day. They're young. They're in their early 20s. They've been together since they were like 13, 12 years old. And they're now in their 20s. Okay. And there was an old picture of her and him on the school bus because they've been together since they were in school. There was an old picture of them on the bus that they took on the school bus. My daughter and my son-in-law, okay? And they were giving each other a kiss on the bus, and my daughter took the picture. It's a selfie. Do y'all know that Cat Smith came to YouTube to say that my daughter got gang banged on the bus based upon that photograph? Why? Because Cat Smith, no man has ever kissed her. Apparently, she's never been kissed like that, but she just decided to make up a rumor about my daughter, saying that she got gang banged on a school bus based upon that picture, based upon her hatred. If you look at my daughter's Facebook, which I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of normal people did not stalk my daughter's Facebook, and I wanted to share it because I thought it was so cute because they have my granddaughter who's now 7 years old, and they have another child on the way, and they've been together for years. And Cat Smith went around the internet and claimed that my daughter was having sex with several people on a bus based upon that photograph. So these are the type of people that y'all are. Y'all are liars. Y'all are frauds. Y'all are jealous. Y'all are impulsive. Y'all are emotional. And y'all are weird. Yes, she did. I wish that I could, you know, I wish I could show it, but it's my daughter's photograph, and I'm not gonna do that. But I looked at it because I was looking through her photos, and I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "That's where Cat Smith got that from." She just literally, that's what they do. They make up lies about people based upon what they see and their jealousy, anger, hatred, visceral for people. Cat Smith is never going to be allowed to prosper. In fact, Cat Smith is probably more than likely going to get very sick very soon. Very sick. Very soon. She's a liar. Can you imagine what a woman could potentially go through in life with somebody repeatedly telling lies about them? You can get messed up socially. It's just, it's not good. It can affect your love life. It can affect you financially. it could possibly affect you getting a job. These days, a lot of these jobs are paying attention to what people are saying about you in social media. This is the reason why I told y'all to fuck having a job. Go and start your own business. Have a business, because these jobs will not hire you, or they can fire you based upon what somebody else is saying in social media, even if it's not the truth. And that's fucked up. I realized that years ago when I was interviewing, I was taking a test for this job at Toys R Us, Kids R Us. It was years and years ago. I was taking a test, and on the test it asked me, it said, has anybody ever stole from you? And I was like, well, no. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, so if you have had people do you dirty, the reason why jobs don't want to hire you is based upon who they deem that you associate with. Okay? So the association with that black sector is bad for the people that are honest and true, right? For some reason, jobs in particular will be biased against you. Start a business. These jobs can do whatever they want to do. Start a farm, do something. Okay? In fact, that's a sign that you need to start your own business. We have a sophisticated crackhead in the chat. CEO here going around checking out everybody's channel. Make sure everything's good. I don't believe this one's going to pass the test media termination. You're a crackhead. Get out of my chat. No one cares about what a crackhead has to say. Okay. You're not even using proper grammar. You tried to sound smart when literally your brain is fried from all the crack you've been smoking. Okay, back to what I was stating. All of you in that sector that has lied and bear false witness against me, you may have had some type of success in life, but eventually my spirits are going to take you down. You will never be allowed to go too far. You probably been playing the lotto. You probably been trying to get a jackpot. You probably have been trying to invest. Everywhere you go, it will follow you, and we will make sure that as long as you have, number one, not told the truth and came clean about the situation, as long as you, number two, are planning on continuing to lie to try to, just do harm to me, or just because you don't have anything else to talk about. There are some people that will talk negatively about people just because they don't have anything else to talk about. Okay. And they desperately want to be accepted socially. You're never going to be allowed to go far in life, ever. Okay? And that's a promise. Okay? So you can try and try and try and try. You're going to blame the president. You're going to blame racism. You're going to blame this. You're going to blame that. No. Blame yourself for being a liar and a fraud. It is nobody's fault but your own that you decided to lie on a person and to try to build up your confidence. I don't understand, I don't think like those people. So I don't understand why telling a lie on me was supposed to bolster your ego. Whatever. You're never going to be allowed to go anywhere. Matter of fact, look at Tina, the number one person that went around lying. I mean, this chick went around lying, lying, lying lying constantly, consistently, even telling that lie to people that I don't even know, telling people, just telling everybody that lie. Guess what? She'll go live and put my name in the title and get maybe 2 views. She's never going to be allowed to do anything in life except for wither away and die. That's a fact, okay? All of you that are doing that, okay? It's just the reality. You are a disgusting individual. You had no right to try to stigmatize me in any way. You had no right to do the things that you did. You know, you tried to stigmatize me. You tried to destroy every aspect of my life, everything that I ever hoped and wished and dreamed for. And then also, here's another very important factor. Um, I am in what they call an anointed one. So you try to stop other people from benefiting from my healing services. And that is an issue. That is an issue. Flagging my channel. You're going to always not prosper. Every time you flag my channel, chips away at you over and over again. Anything that you try to do to come at Divine Services Apothecary and Jamila at all, that means the people around me, it is going to continuously destroy your life. Then also another thing, once your life has been appropriately destroyed, we all know that you're going to think, oh, well, let me try to go postal. Let me try to murder this person. Let me go and try to go ham. And then that is when my spirits are going to show you who they are. They're going to show you that you're not going to ever be allowed to come anywhere near me or any of my innocents and the people that I love, because they're going to fling you. My spirits can materialize in the physical whenever they fucking feel like it. I'm not talking about just possessing somebody. No, no. But they can possess people into doing the right thing. You know, that's why eventually one day they're going to have the police arrest you. Okay. However, if you were to decide, oh my God, and because you don't have the ability to take accountability, if you were to decide, oh my God, I'm going to go and get Jamila, my spirits can literally come out of the blue and they can materialize themselves in the physical as a physical being, and they will stomp your ass out. Okay. You will never reach the threshold. You will never be allowed to go over the fucking threshold ever. If you ever had an intention, ever. Okay. So you're just going to have to deal with that fact. You're just going to have to deal with it. By the way, on a side note, telling the truth and speaking the truth about a person that has been that is deceased, even if they died in a violent way, is not roasting that person. It's telling the truth. Okay, y'all have an issue with telling. Y'all don't. Yeah, wrong with y'all brains. But if somebody told an egregious lie about somebody while they were alive, it is perfectly fine for the person, the victim of that person's lies, to go ahead and tell the truth. It's okay for them to tell the truth about them. Okay. That doesn't make them a bad person. Then also, somebody has been going around saying that you shouldn't speak ill on dead. That, excuse me, the person that has said that, who gives a damn about what that person says? No one cares about your opinion. No one cares about your logic. The only people that accept the logic of Bum Dot, which is who I'm talking about, are complete idiots. Who cares? If that person was a foul ass fucking person while they were alive, we have the right to speak about them. We have every right. That's not roasting. That's telling the fucking truth. That's speaking the truth. That is exonerating yourself. The truth has to be spoken. So I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it anymore. And then plus, I don't give a damn about Bum Dots and his grandmother or his family's logic. They are fucking peasants. Who gives a fuck about what his mother thought, his granny thought, whoever thought? I don't care about what they said. They're nobody to me. They don't hold no fucking power over me, because if those people were ever worth anything, they wouldn't have produced a piece of garbage like him. Yeah. So no one cares. Oh, she said that. Same difference. Same difference. Oh, so that's where they got that from. Yeah, no one cares about her fucking logic. She doesn't have logic. She is a 60-year-old woman that got obsessed with me. Trust me, she has no intellect. She has no intelligence. She has no merit. That's bullshit. If a dead person was crappy when they were alive, right? Now I don't believe just going around saying negative things, but I mean, she's kind of an idiot. You know what I'm saying? And she's not a psychic, because years ago she adapted to that situation and she's still blind as a fucking bat. She was saying prophecies that were never the truth. She's very perverted. Notice how every prophecy that she says has something to do with molestation and incest. She's not able to have a clear head or conscious. It no. But that's actually not the truth. That's actually not the truth. Speaking about a dead person, what does she say? That it's going to bring you bad luck? Oh my God. No. No, nobody has to go by her logic, and in fact you should go completely against her logic, because she has none. She has none. That woman is stupid and has a very low IQ. She ain't never in her life been able to make a good decision in her life, and what she's been doing the past damn 13 years has been a very, very bad decision. And she's not wise. That is a total oxymoron. Sure you are. Sure you are. No, she's not. Okay. In fact, no black woman should ever trust her. No black person, no person should trust her. She doesn't even get her information from prophecy. She goes and looks at YouTube videos, and that's where she gets her information. All of the information that she so-called gives to people is the same information that has already been published. There's nothing. Okay. So yeah, that's bullshit. Okay. In fact, she's very mentally ill. She's very mentally ill. And nobody respects her. Oh, and she's a pervert. She has some kind of weird, sick fetish, fantasy type of situation going on that, overrides her ability to be taken seriously, and it completely and totally overtakes her thoughts. And this is the reason why, she's gotten the information removed from the internet, but she's very messy. This is the reason why people do not go to her for spiritual work, because she can't focus on spiritual work long enough to even get the job done. She can't focus. That's her problem. She has lack of focus. And then also, whatever it is that, if somebody goes to her and actually pays her to do anything, she's going to take that money and take that person's energy, and she's going to invest all of it into people like myself that she is jealous of. Okay, this is the reason why she's going to lose that temple if she hasn't already. She probably has already lost that temple, and that's probably why she's stalking and harassing and very angry, right? she's probably lost that temple. You haven't seen her make any live streams from that temple in years, in months. Okay, she probably lost that temple, and instead of her understanding why, she decided to try to get some kind of vengeance on me, which it was her own doing. Everything that she loses, which essentially she's going to end up in an old folks home. Okay, that's the thing about people her age. You're at a crossroads, and it's like once you get to the point where you're able to go to a rest home. There are some people that decide to make the decision to start doing things that are very self-destructive. I know that when I get her age, I won't do that. But I know that there are some people her age, they're like, well, I can just go and stay at this old folks home, so I don't care about what I do. So she probably lost that temple, more than likely. Instead of her realizing why she lost the temple is because of her dishonorable behavior, she blames it on me. I never even paid attention to her temple, but I did wonder, why does she have a temple? I did wonder that. She don't have no kind of relationship with any type of higher power, which she needs one. She's definitely not God. She's definitely not of God's frequency. So, and essentially what she's done is she's led a bunch of people into a void, is what she's done. So, but no, that's not the truth. When a person dies, like, I don't think that you should make fun of them or talk shit about them, but if I mean, I personally was not trying to say anything negative about my adversary that was murdered. I wasn't trying to say anything negative about her. But when I could see that those idiots was going to continue lying on me on her behalf, that's when I had to say something. That's when I had to say something. Because that's disgusting. What is wrong with you? Right? So anyway, that's pretty much it. You're never going to prosper. I wanted to let them know that today. And I've got to go. I've got ritual to do for the summer solstice. Shout out to all of my peeps in my collective. Um, I had a spiritual encounter this morning that was just beautiful as I was waking up. It was beautiful. So, yeah. And fear not, that lady. Fear not. Fear not. Nobody needs to believe in her so-called power, okay? What she uses is a collective consciousness, and she does hide behind white supremacy. She does hide behind she well, there's something else that she does. I'm not going to speak on that right now. But there's no reason to fear her ever. Don't ever fear Vanita Davis. Ever. Okay? Because she's powerless, and so are the rest of her sector. And we'll make sure, Spirit will make sure that they never prosper. Okay? Because you know what? Think about it. If they were to actually have ever taken me down, please believe that they would have done it to others. And the buck stopped here. Okay? No way in hell they're going to ever be allowed to get away with doing what they were trying to do. Okay? All right, guys, y'all have a happy summer solstice. Happy Litha. I gotta go. I will see y'all later. Blessings and abundance to all of my peeps. I'm only blessing those that I deem are worthy. But that's the reason why. You cannot ever prosper because you were a danger to innocent people. Okay. All right, guys. See y'all later. Blessing. Bye.